This past Saturday, Ross Atkins held a press conference for the media. The Blue Jays, as we know, have not been meeting expectations, and Ross Atkins finally decided to address it. Atkins said a lot in that press conference on Saturday, but the main takeaway from everything was patience. He made mention of the fact that we're only at the quarter pole of the season, that the Jays have a lot of assets that they could use to acquire a big-time player, and that he believes in the talent on this team. So with that being said, why are we hearing days later that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Bo Bichette have been shopped around on the trade market? What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. In this one, folks, we're going to be talking about the recent trade reports involving Vlad and Bo and discuss the likelihood of one of these big deals actually going down. Before we get into it, I encourage you guys to hit the like and smash the subscribe button if you enjoy Blue Jays content and discussion so you don't miss any future videos. Alright folks, let's get into it. So just a couple days ago, Mark Feinsand released an article discussing the possibility of a Vlad and Bo trade where he spoke to an MLB executive. In that article, he writes, "I don't think they're opposed to it," the executive said. "They've talked to teams about it. The asks were ridiculous, but I think they're going to try to retool a lot, and using those guys to get pieces may be the way to do it." They went on to say that neither of them are off to great starts, but other teams might view them as change of scenery guys. Everyone knows what these guys can do, but that roster might just need a change. Now, the big takeaways here are the fact that the Jays aren't opposed to a deal like this, and that they've already gone and talked to other teams about potentially making it happen. We have to remember that a Vlad or a Bo trade wouldn't just be a small deal for the Jays, right? Trading them away would mean that the team is entering into an entirely new era of baseball and might have to retool for several years. And these reports are in stark contrast to what Ross Atkins was saying on the weekend. Ross was preaching patience and saying how he believed in this team and that it was still way too early to be thinking about selling off pieces. However, according to this MLB executive, that's not the case. Now, the executive did make it clear that the asks for a Bo or Vlad trade were ridiculous, which from a Blue Jays fan standpoint is a good thing. We all know that neither one of Vlad or Bo is having their best season right now, but if they were to get traded and the Jays sold low on either of them, that would be a huge mistake. In my opinion, I'm actually not 100% opposed to a Vlad or Bo trade, but the return, as this executive was saying, would need to be ridiculous, which then leads me to believe that if one of them was going to get traded, it'd probably be Vladdy.
Whoa, time for your daily Betway breather. A quick reminder that the best place to bet is on Betway. Must be 19 years of age or older to play. In collaboration with iGaming Ontario, please bet responsibly. Now, back to the content.
Bo Bichette right now is basically having the season from hell, and things are just not going his way. Guerrero, on the other hand, even though it's not his best year ever, has definitely been turning it on recently. Vlad is currently batting .286, getting on base 38% of the time, and has an OPS of .775. Those numbers are good enough that the Jays could absolutely sell high on him and potentially get a really good haul in return. Now, even though I'm not opposed to a deal like that, what I am opposed to is having a deal like that go down under the management of Ross Atkins. If the Jays truly are going to do as this executive predicts and retool a lot, then I think having a new face come in and lead that retooling process is very important for them. Ross Atkins' run prevention and defense first strategy just isn't working, and based on what he said on the weekend and then these reports coming out, clearly we can't trust anything that he says. Ultimately, folks, if a Vlad and Bo trade is seriously on the table for these Toronto Blue Jays, then I think the guy who makes that decision needs to be somebody not named Ross Atkins. But folks, let me know what you think about all this in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, go Jays go!